What's up, everybody? Big Chet. It's Tuesday, June 13th, June 18th, rather, 2024. A warm hello and a welcome to everyone. We'll get this live stream started. Um, I am, of course, Big Cheds on Twitter, and I am Cheds Trading on YouTube. I would like to recommend that everybody take a look at my masterclass webinar playlist. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up for you. Let's get this ready. And all right, hope everybody's doing well. So, check out my masterclass webinar playlist. This is going to really help you understand the basics of classical charting. Japanese candlestick theory. It is something I'm really proud of. It's a great, it's a place I tend to send people just when they're getting started. And in any case, check that out. Check out the free version of my best-selling book, Trading Wisdom. I have a third of that book there for free. I have published my cancer memoir. I was a patient and a caregiver, and I read the whole book here. So if you're fighting cancer or you know someone who is, check out my memoir. It may help you. So check out all my great stuff on YouTube. Of course, we're going to talk Bitcoin today. We're going to, I'll touch base with the chat room. Hope everybody's doing well. Make sure to say hi. And we'll take some requests, of course. But I want to remind you that I've been really active in the last week. This is like the fifth, or so YouTube stream that I've done. We're celebrating the Bitcoin Live 6th annual sale. I am a founding analyst. I've been doing market reports for 6 years. I do a Wednesday and Sunday night video update, and I haven't skipped that in over 5 years. So you get to hear from me twice a week, no matter what's going on. I'll tell you, when you sign up, you get access to the entire team's content, not just my stuff. And this really is the best team in the world that studies crypto. You want to take advantage of the sale. First 3 months for only $97, which is an incredible deal. On my Twitter or X account, whatever you want to call it. You can see in my pinned tweet a link to one of my recent reports, which is now free. I had it declassified, so you can get a sense of what I do. I try to 2 or 3 times a year, I have one of my reports made public. Most of what I do is free, and you're probably aware of that because you've seen me on Twitter and you've seen me on YouTube. I try to be educational, and that is what I am all about. So good to see everybody here in the chat room. Nice to see you. Your name is Ed. Okay. Yeah, I promise you folks, this isn't me who's saying that. Good to see you as well. Nice to see you as well, Greg. Hope everybody's doing good here in the middle of the day. And sure, we'll do Doge in a second, but Bitcoin right now is in a little bit of danger. On the weekly chart, you see us testing the MA20, simple moving average, middle Bollinger where it held last time, but we are below mid-channel support, and we see a couple underside retests and rejections. We've been talking about this low time frame price action and looking for a reclaim of that area. You see where the price now paused multiple times after losing support. Did not have the same strength and fall through. Ethereum had on its own a kind of local momentum pivot. So Bitcoin's in a little bit of trouble here. We are probably, I mean, it's not rocket science. Now we're probably headed for a 61K test. I mean, we've lost mid-channel support. We seem to be drifting down towards, local range lows. There is demand there. There's no guarantee it will hold, but you want to be buying a dip in an uptrend. The trend is still quite bullish, as evidenced by the price versus weekly moving averages, rising MA20. All the moving averages fanned out. Just some initial potential loss of the EMA8. But again, we have days here until the candle closes, so we can't quite draw a conclusion on that yet. It is only Tuesday. The market is kind of rough in terms of altcoins. You're seeing a lot of the price structure breaking down on these altcoins and follow through from it. Fetch, for example, rolling over. Sol neither holding at 160 or 140. Rolling over, now testing the 200. BCH rolling over, testing this 200 here for the first time, losing support. So some of the stronger altcoins have been rolling over. BNB did not hold either at 640 or 600, potentially rolling over and testing lower. And this is just part of the environment we've been in with a steady grinding higher Bitcoin. Could be grind down to 60K, find support, and then continue. And alt get a relief? Depends. It will depend on the chart. We shall see. That's one possibility. But would really like to see it back up above 66.5. I took a couple short-term trades and got stopped out on that level. And, that is that. So, yeah, appreciate the music, Church of Eight Wheels. This is kind of a budget YouTube for me. I really mostly focus on Bitcoin Live and Twitter, not YouTube as much lately. But if I'm going to do YouTubes, especially in the middle of the year, it's got to be easy for me to just pop on, say hi, and talk to people. I'm like a no frills kind of guy, and I really just want to talk to you and just see where you're at and hopefully add some value. We've had a lot of spaces this week, really soaked it up, and I've been doing questions and answer and talking to people. It's not 64.5. We've already lost support at 66K. I don't think 64.5 is a level of support. There's no real support in my view. The major levels are well defined in the daily chart, 66K, 72, and really 60K, just to kind of oversimplify it. But I don't see 64K as a level. Koficha, thank you for saying that. It's very nice of you to say that. So let's talk about this. Is the MA200 a good place to go long? You can use a moving average. And the thesis of price interacting with the moving average as a long thesis is reasonable, but you still have to define your risk. And that's going to be based on some horizontal levels. So I would ask you, and I'll follow up with your comment in the chat room. If you're entering here on the MA200, what's your stop loss? Right? It's got to be based on some level. You got to say maybe it's based on these wicks, but that's pretty far down. You could use the most recent candle's low. And if you're going to use the MA200, I think you probably have to use today's intercandle low, right, to define your risk. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. So Doge was requested. Let me follow through on my promise to cover Doge. I want to make sure that I am a man of my word. And we're going to cover Dogecoin. And I've been discussing Doge as having not much of a trend, really waiting to see if it tests and, ideally holds 12 cents. And it's here potentially pushing through and no sign that it's really going to hold quite yet. If you're a bull and you've been waiting, if you're a trader, you've been waiting, this is certainly an area of interest, right? We're retesting the generally a peak from November of 2022. But this has still been an underwhelming for me. I have not been personally trading it. There's no real trend. I'm looking for more of a trend to trade. And you really need to see it hold 12. It may or may not be doing that. It's testing it. It's fighting to hold it right now. Just want to say hi. Hey, thanks. Thanks, Crypto Keeper, and thanks for the pin. Yeah, hey, by the way, I'm gonna do a spaces on Twitter in a few hours. I have a meeting, and then I'm gonna do spaces later. I'd love to hear from you. Hope everybody shows up. And as a reminder, when you show up for the spaces, make sure you ask questions. You're the trader to learn from most from. Thank you, Patrick. It's really nice of you to say that. And you're welcome to the free content. When I started out, people helped me, and I want to pass that along, pass it forward. Well, thanks to the free content. You've had to look at Floki. Sure. It's been bullish. We've covered it quite a bit this last week. I haven't looked at it since I've last spoken. Yeah, it's still one of the better looking alts. Look at that price above, MA20, testing what should be support. Sure, it has taken some damage. It did pause initially. You've kind of reaffirmed the range peak around, 003250-ish. But this, as of right now, still looks like one of the better looking charts, and that may be saying something. But it's still price above a rising 200 with higher lows. Just reminding people, I'm so active this week. It is the Bitcoin Live 6th anniversary sale. You got a day and a half, almost 2 days left to lock this in. We do a sale just once a year, so consider joining the best team in the world that studies crypto. Ichimoku. I haven't actually combined them. I had actually used Ichimoku clouds a little bit, I think about 10 years ago, and it wasn't really my thing. It's okay. You can use candlestick theory. Like with candlestick theory, you actually want to be using Bollinger Bands. Really, in one of the two things you really just need is candlestick theory and Bollinger Bands, because then the context of a candlestick is like a hammer, reversal hammer. You want it to be at the lower Bollinger, right? Because you want it to reverse a trend, not in the middle of the channel. So understanding the context of the candles and how to interpret them. So for me, I haven't, but I don't know that I would need to, in that candlesticks work so well with Bollinger Bands, right? If we close a candle below, so this is going to be in that soul trade. Stop loss if we close a candle below. Sure, but what if it's like How are you defining below? Is it like $1? Is it $5? That's one way to do it. I'd probably do two. If I'm doing just the moving average, I'd probably wait for 2 candle closes. But for me, ideally, again, I'm basing my trades on horizontal structure because that just makes it easier for me. All right. What's up? Hey, Sir Doss. It's great to have you, my friend. Thank you for being a member. 21 weeks. So 21 is an interesting number for me, because I'm already using Bollinger Bands. And you know this, from my updates. I'm already using Bollinger Bands, and that gives me the middle Bollinger, right? The SMA 20. I don't use this. It wouldn't make sense for me to also have the 21 EMA, right? I've got the 8, the green line, I have the yellow, the 34. I mean, it stands to reason that that both the MA20 and the EMA21 are probably in a similar price structure. Do I think it's a good spot to long here? I think it's certainly you should be watching, but I don't know that you would necessarily trigger long simply based on that moving average. Again, because I think we're working on horizontal structure and we have evidence of a loss of momentum. I think it would be much more risk discipline to wait for a recapture of like 66.5 than going long here just because it's touching a moving average, because momentum would suggest a higher chance of rolling over and testing range lows than a recapture at this point. So I think that's how I would answer that question. I've learned a ton from you. Thank you, Mahogany Cheetah. I've learned a ton from you. How long did it take you to become a disciplined trader who has trade thesis and respects streets is wrong? I'm still working on it, to be honest with you. It's a lifelong process. I think it took me, I mean, there was when I was trading casually, and then when I really started to take it seriously, 15 years ago. I mean, there was a lot of trial and error, and with a lot of error, and it's still a moving target, especially as I continue to try to grow my skills and trade multiple markets. I'm still making mistakes. I mean, I'm doing quite well, and I'm satisfied, but um, I will tell you that once I really started to work on my health, I'm in very good shape right now. I'm disciplined. Like, your health leads. So, like, if you're not taking care of your body, like if your sleep is bad, so is your trading. So I eat pretty well. I work out. I was just shooting free throws before I came into the video to get my blood pumping. Right? Not, I mean, free throw jump shots. So you, it's time, but it's also going to be, you have to take care of yourself. You have to um, tend your own garden and take good care of yourself. That's going to lead to that discipline. And so there's no necessarily answer like a number of years, for example. I did just talk about Soul quite a bit earlier. So you may want to go back and review the beginning of the video. Let's take a look at ADA. Has been breaking down quite weak. Oof, 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 woof, right? Looked bad. I would avoid it. I would definitely not touch it right now, Abdullah. But I appreciate the question. I appreciate you being here. Definitely would have wanted to see it hold 45 cents. It's not a good chart. It's a relative underperformer. I would avoid it. It maybe sell and move on, close it out. There's just way better. This is a rough market too. You can't be messing around with bad charts right now, right? If you don't want to miss quote unquote the move, just buy back in if it recaptures 45 cents and you've got some momentum. I think you have to play strength, right? Let me scroll around the chat room. Again, it's great to see everybody here today. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Tuesday. Blah, 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 blah. Let me just check the. So, do I think order flow traders have better edge in the market? No, definitely not. I think they have a negative edge. I think it's negative EV to be looking at that stuff. For most people, if you're a super expert, great, but you're like the one in a million, because the price will lead. You need to not be looking at things outside of the chart. All right. You need to focus on price interaction with the moving averages, study the candlestick momentum. You don't even really need like oscillators, RSI, OBV. Just look at what the price is doing. What's the momentum? How are you defining your trade? Uh, you know, some people can use those things properly, but most do not, and it costs them money because they end up entering trades or holding on to them because of something they think they see outside of the chart. And what most likely is happening is they're looking for something to confirm their bias. They're looking for a reason to stay in a trade that's already failed. They don't want to admit a loss. I am very disciplined in that, other than the price, I only consider sentiment, because it's the market participants who are buying and selling. I consider sentiment. It's helped me spot bottoms and tops quite well, probably more effectively than with price alone. So I don't recommend doing this, and that's my opinion on that. Greetings from Berlin. What's up, John Henry? Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. Again, I'll be on Spaces this afternoon, and I'll do another YouTube tomorrow, and then that's it. It's a Bitcoin live sale. We just got a couple days left. I'm going to be grinding out here on social media next couple days for sure. I want to get back involved with Tia, one of my favorites. At what point are you getting back in the chart like that? Sure. TIA. Let's take a look. I see that. I think thank you in advance, right? TIA. Oh, it's a bad chart. Bad. It's one of your favorites, huh? One of your favorites. Okay. I mean, if you're really aggressive and you really love it, you don't want to miss it. I think, you know, back up above really 950. But if you don't want to get like chopped out, stopped out, it would be 12. And best the bull case really would be to maybe form a head somewhere here, come up, form a shoulder, and then we'll see if the shoulder invalidates or it completes and continues. But it's a bad chart. You got to think about why you like it, but the market doesn't. And that's got to be that's a hard conversation, but you have to have that conversation with yourself from time to time. I think I missed your request last time, so I'll try to do it now. Greg, good to see you. What's JUP? I don't think I'm familiar with that one. JUP, it's on smaller exchanges. Okay. We'll hit a couple just to see if we can get some price history. All right. Okay, not that one. Yeah, it's not great. Definitely not great. First of all, not a ton of history. I generally don't like the chart. There's no reason why this doesn't, push back and test 50 cents again. Real strong bear momentum. Much of the market has that, in fairness, right now. But I do not like the chart. It doesn't have a ton of history, and it's relatively weak compared to the other choices you have. You need to be smart about which charts you're playing. Don't be just splashing around. Don't be playing weak charts just to make yourself feel better. Let's take a look at INJ Baptista, right? This has been a very interesting one. It's had a really strong support at $18. We're right back to that. And last time we dropped there was on kind of a panic dip, right? I dropped here to the weekly chart. You can see it well in the weekly chart, peak of the prior range, nice little spinning top channel here, 4 spinning tops, boom, throwing back. That's still the case. I put out a tweet right when we were here at $32 talking about underside retest. That was a nice little short setup. If you played it and you look at it, it's called a pullback or an underside retest in classical charting, where you've got the well-defined support, it's lost, and boom, there's your retest. Now we've rolled over, lost mid-channel support right around 22, roughly these range lows, and here we are at the panic low. So we're kind of at that panic low level. If you start to lose 18, this thing could be in major trouble, and it had been Baptista had been one of the strongest charts. So good to see you. I think we talked on Spaces yesterday. From what I understand. What's up, Carlos? Thank you. Hey, I'm just doing my best. I'm trying to add value to the space, and just having you around is great. Having everybody around contributing when I do Spaces. I love hearing from you, and when I do these YouTubes, it's nice to see 100 people. We're all just hanging out here together. We're all just participants in the same space. It's the Bitcoin Live 6th anniversary sale. I am a founding analyst. I've been doing reports there since the beginning. I do it twice a week, full market report every Wednesday, every Sunday night. I haven't skipped that in 5 years. I'm on vacation. I'm tired. I'm sick. It doesn't matter. I love it. It's important. It helps my trading a lot, honestly. And you can see an example of what one of those reports is if you go to my Twitter page, Big Chad. Check out the pinned tweet. All right, my report from 6 days ago is public. You can check that out. I'll tell you, when you sign up, you get access to everyone's content. It is the best team in the world that studies crypto, and I don't think it's close. And I'm just really proud of our team, and that's why I'm active this week. I'm on YouTube, of course, Ted's Trading. Go to the playlist, Masterclass Technical Analysis Tutorials. Reminder, most of what I do is free, and I really want you to soak up all the great stuff on YouTube. One thing I'm incredibly proud of is my cancer memoir is free. I am a patient and a prior patient and a caregiver, and I wrote about my experience. If you know someone who's fighting cancer, I would hope you would point them in that direction and hopefully can help them. And I want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out here with me. I'm going to do a spaces in like an hour. I want to chill out a little bit, maybe have some food, and then I'm going to do spaces, in the next couple of hours, maybe as the equity markets close, and we can hang out. Ask me a question there, and if I didn't get to you on Twitter, so I mean on YouTube. But everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you are well. I hope to see you next time. All right, Big Ched's out.